Hello again, welcome back to another build guide, Derp here. So, welcome to another build of mine. So this is basically, this is a Glacial Hammer build, but the strange thing is that I'm using Raider, and because I want to, so since we're on the right side of the tree, we don't have access to staff and maces, we cannot use them. So what I did was, after some research, I found that, hey, this sword actually exists, the name that I cannot pronounce, so I'm not even gonna try. So basically this sword counts as one-handed melee weapon or one-handed melee weapon types. So what it means is, you can get axe notes, you can get sword notes, you can get claw notes, you can get dagger notes. If you really want, you can also get mace, and yeah, you can also get mace notes. So yeah, that actually allows us to actually start scaling. But yeah, since we're using Raider, I guess I'm putting unnecessary burden on my build, because most of the time people are playing with Inquisitor or Juggernaut or Berserker and stuff. But yeah, since I decided to build with a Raider, I am pretty stuck with this sword. So yeah, let's talk about the gear. Obviously, the first thing, two of these swords that is pretty cheap actually, is if you are buying a low road one, it's like 3 to 10 chaos. If you want a decent roll like the two I'm using, this is like 40 to 50 chaos. If you want perfect roll, you may need one exalt for each roll, each one, so it depends on your budget. I choose the middle path, and this is like 40 to 50 chaos, around that price when I bought it. So that's the weapon we are using. And then for chest piece, I chose perfect form, but if you really want, you can use law weave, or you can use eldercraft, attack critical strike chance, elder chest. That allows you to have a lot more base health and more crit, maybe some resistance too. But I choose perfect form because I like perfect form, and it allows us to save 4 points. And because we are Raider, we have enough evasion that 10% dodge chance doesn't really mean anything. And perfect form gives us face acrobatics, so yeah. That's my choice, but again, just use law weave if you want to save a route or something like that. And then for helmet, this is just a helmet I bought with the base and the enchantment, Glacial Hammer enchantment, and then spam Frigid Fossil until I got the minus. Nearby enemies have 9% minus cold resistance and a good life roll. It just happens to have 2 open prefix, so I crafted Hyper Life and then slam Warlord Orb on it, hoping for something better, but I only got 14% elemental damage. But it's still better than nothing, so that's the helmet. The most important thing is the life, the minus cold resist, and the Glacial Hammer enchantment. Yeah, and then amulet, because this is a cold build with hit base cold build, so Pandemonius is always the best choice. Since it has cold damage, penetration, blind. So that's that. That's the Pandemonius. And then for ring, I'm not gonna mention about life and resist, because those are just universal for any build, so I don't think I'm gonna mention too much about life and resist. But the first ring you want to look for is assassin mark on hit, maybe some strength for int, because you do need some strength for int before you can get a lethal pride. The second ring you want minus non-channeling skill have minus mana cost, so it helps to solve your mana problem, because if you do not have that, you may not be able to reserve as much mana, so you really want the minus mana cost for that. I choose this over crafting it, because first thing, crafting it I think costs 1 exalt, and the second reason being the tempo mod actually comes with the maximum mana mod, which again give you higher mana pool. So yeah, this is why I choose to have a tempo ring. But if you really want, you can buy a, I don't know, some influence ring with the mod you want and then craft the minus mana cost on it. So that's the ring. And then for gloves, you want to buy a pair of gloves with the most important stat is increased damage with hits against shielded enemies. So because the Glacial Hammer on its own has super freeze and super chill, so as long as you're freezing or chilling enemy, you are doing 50% increased damage. So that's the most important thing of the glove. Also, the one more thing is that you can just buy such gloves with this tempo mod, with preferably with open prefix and open suffix, so you can craft attack speed and then hunter op slam it. If you don't have enough budget, just buy one with open prefix and then hunter op slam it. The only thing you can get is impale chance, intimidate chance, unnerve chance, and strike skill target additional enemy, which are actually all good. The reason being you can sell them. You get impale, you can sell them. You get unnerve, you can sell them for a lot. Yeah, basically this kind of gloves cost like 1 to 3 exots, and then the hunter op costs like 3 exots, 2 exots. And no matter what you slam, you can sell for 8 exots at least. If you get impale or you can sell for 8 exots. I got one with unnerve. The one with unnerve sold for 15 exots. And then strike skill target one additional enemy, you can all still sell for 10 to 12 exots, depending on the other stats. Basically you're looking for tier 1 life and the tempo mod, maybe some strength, and then you hunter op slam them. If you get the biggest bonus with intimidate and unnerve, you sell for 15 exots, or you can use it on your own. At first I wanted the intimidate mod, but I just failed like, I don't know, 7 pair of these kind of gloves. I keep only getting impale and strike skill target additional enemy or unnerve, but I sold them all and made at least 5 exots from each of them. So because people are not yet caught up that you can actually buy cheap ass gear with open affixes and then hunter or whatever influence mob or slamming for a lot better results, and then we sell them. So people are actually willing to pay 10 exots to buy the 5 exots gloves. So yeah, you can do that. You can never lose. So you can do that. But I ended up choosing not to use the intimidate one, which is this one here, because firstly it's just 5% more damage because this one has less good rolls. Also, the other reason being I have to swap between Ancestral Core, which I am lazy and do not want to do, so I just stick with this one with additional target 1. But it depends on you. If you wouldn't mind switching Ancestral Core, obviously Intimidate is gonna be better, unless you get the Intimidate from your lethal pride. And then for the belt, this belt is leftover from my last character with just some physical damage, some elemental damage, and life and resist and stuff. And gain flash charge when you deal a crit is not useful for 90% of the content. The only way I found that mod useful is in the serious fight, because that serious fight is long enough, actually long enough, so that you actually gain some use of the flask before the fight ends. So that's the only time where I find the mod useful. Even for Shaper is not useful because Shaper open portals and you can recharge your flasks. So yeah, the most important thing is the damage and the life for the belt. But if you so choose, you can again just buy some Warlord, buy some Hunter Orb, slam on it and see if you can get a better gear. And as for boots, this is just a normal pair of boots with the remaining resistance I need and movement speed and stuff. Again, I tried to Redeemer Slam gain physical as extra cold damage and I didn't get it. I only get Endurance Charge on kill, but it's still better than nothing. It stacks with Arctic Armor, so you get some physical reduction. So not the worst. So basically, that's the main gears. And then you want one open suffix again for your aspect of the spider craft. You can get it whatever on your gloves. Just yeah. But if you are using Shaper or Elder Helmet, then beware of not having the aspect of the spider on them, because it's gonna link with the whatever gem link is on the Shaper or Elder Helmet. So yeah, beware of that. So the ideal choice should be putting it on the boots or your rings for the aspect of the spider. If you so choose, you can use it on your belt, but for belt you can craft a higher value of resistance compared to the rings. So yeah, depends on you, but I would recommend on the ring or the boots. As for gem links, I am using Glacial Hammer, Malefice, Elemental Damage with attacks, Ruthless, Multi-Strike, and Cold Penetration. I like Cold Penetration. I like penetration on all my builds because, especially for this league, because everything has so much more resistance nowadays, and even in previous leagues, enemies can actually get up to cap of 75% resistance. So if you do not have good amounts of penetration, those enemies will take forever to kill, especially if they also get the regeneration mod or the extra life mod. So I just really like to have penetration on my main link, or make sure I have enough penetration no matter what. Because of that, because I just really hate like hitting a brick wall when a certain enemy takes like 10 seconds to kill, when everything dies in 2 hits. Yeah, it's not gonna look as good in Path of Building, but it's like 10% less damage compared to some other links, but I still prefer penetration over a lot of the other gem links, especially for this league, because they got ridiculous resistance. Because map mod can get up to 49% extra resistance, and they buff bosses so that they have 50% resistance, so they can actually have 99% resistance, which also means even if you use Frost Bomb, they will still have 74% resistance, because they cap at 75, but minus resistance doesn't work if they have over cap resistance. You actually need to lower the value below their cap resistance before the minus resistance is starting to work. Like lowering the 100 resistance to 75 still means the enemy has 75% resistance. So yeah, having enough penetration is a good thing. Also, now that we have Catalyst, it's not only buffing the elemental damage, it also buffs the cold penetration for the Pandemonius. So we are actually having 62 penetration? 61 penetration? Yeah, 61 penetration. So yeah, it feels good to have it. So that's our main link, and then our other links are War Chief, with multi-totems because it allows you to place more totems and increase your totem placement speed, so that's why we used it. And then we have Calling Strike, and because they have endgame bosses are way tanky this league, so having 10% Calling Strike is actually really good because you don't need to deal with their last 10%. And then the other link are Orb of Storm, Power Charge on Crit, Faster Casting, and Frost Bomb. So usually I don't use the Orb of Storm, but if you're attacking, you can just press the button and put down Orb of Storm to gain some power charge on single target bosses. But the main damage will be coming from the reduced resistance. If the enemy doesn't have cap resistance, then the Frost Bomb is gonna give you the most amount of damage, as long as the enemy doesn't have cap resistance. But if they do, then you may want to use War Chief. Obviously, if you have time to prepare, just like the Metamorph, you can just put down War Chief, put down Orb of Storm, put down Frost Bomb before you start attacking. But for most cases, you can just put down War Chief and Frost Bomb and start attacking. The power charge doesn't help that much at this point of my character, but earlier on, you kind of want some power charge to help with your crits. And before I get the Watcher Eye, Hatred Watcher Eye, I actually use one of my link with increased critical strike chance in one of my link, so that it helps my critical chance. As for the skill tree, because we're on the right side again, the only place we can use the Winter Burial that is reasonably close to us is here. So you kind of have to go to the duelist area and get the Winter Burial, which adds in these two nodes here, allows you to have full conversion to coal, and also allows our Glacial Hammer to do splash damage. So when you start leveling up, you want to go down here to grab this jewel socket here, and then start going up and get the crit over here. And then when you're getting close to level 60, you can start grabbing the Crawl nodes. And when you're level 64, you can slap in this sword, and then you can start scaling and then get the sword nodes here and then the dagger nodes here, and then maybe fill up the life later. And then when you get some currency, you want to get a level pride, because when your Glacial Hammer is getting higher and higher level, you need quite a lot of strength. And again, since we're on the right side, you don't get a lot of strength from the skill tree, so you really want a level pride to solve your strength problem. And ideally, in a perfect world, you want one with Intimidate and at least 2 chance to deal double damage nodes. But it's extremely rare and extremely expensive to get that. So yeah, you can just get a random level pride and use it. And then when you have the currency, you can invest with Divine Orb until you get a decent enough one. The one I'm using is not bad, but yeah, it has physical damage taken as fire, 4% life, 40% melee damage, and then 10% strength, and then 10% double damage, and then 30% melee crit. That's the level pride I'm using. But yeah, most of the level pride bonus is gonna help you with this build, because it either gives you like melee critical multiplier, totem placement speed, something like that. So yeah, level pride is a good addition to have. And then finally, for endgame of the endgame, you want to watch your eye with increased crit chance while affected by hatred, so that you can swap your increased critical strike length with Ruthless, which further boosts your damage. If you do not have the Watcher Eye, I would recommend not using Ruthless, because your crit chance will be so low that your damage will feel very unreliable. A pack may take like 5 hits to kill, and then the other pack just one-shots. It's just not feeling good to play, even though the path of building number is looking better. When you're actually playing, it doesn't feel good because, yeah, again, a pack of white monsters may take you a few hits to kill while another magic monster get one shot. So yeah, I would recommend using Increased Crit before you get the Watcher's Eye. And to get 5 Orbs colors, I use the Jeweler's Orb crafting from the crafting bench. Basically you craft with 3 red sockets, and then you craft number of socket 4, and then number of socket 3, number of socket 4, number of socket 3, number of socket 4 until you get a red, and then repeat it for the 4 socket 5 socket 4 socket 5 socket until you get a 5th red socket, and then you craft the 6th socket, which most likely is gonna give you a green. So yeah, if you don't, you just need to repeat the process, but the last socket being green is just the easiest part to do, because this is a dex-based chess piece, so that's how you get the colors, and then you just spam fusing and hope for the best. Yeah, or alternatively you can buy one with 6 link and 6 white sockets, because some people double corrupt them, so, or just use a law width, which makes you have an easier time to get your sockets if you use a law width. So yeah, I think that's the gear. As for flasks, diamond flasks, and then I use a jade flask because we want to boost our evasion to better value, to better evade enemy attacks, and then we use Taste of Hay because, yeah, it gives you cold resistance, and cold resistance means more evasion because of perfect form. So yeah, and then it allows you to take some physical damage as cold damage, and you take less cold damage. So Taste of Hate. And the final flask, I just get the Bottle of Faith from my last character, so I'm using it, but yeah, it's not necessary. You can use Wise Oak, but it's hard to balance, but Wise Oak can be a choice if you really want, but or you can use Lion's Roar if you don't mind the knockback. Yeah, it depends, because you are most likely gonna one-shot packs. So Lion Roar actually doesn't. Yeah, you can use Lion Roar basically because you one-shot packs. So if you don't have Bottle of Faith, just use Lion's Roar. It's still decent damage. So that's the gear and Link. Oh, Link, right. I haven't finished up talking about Link. So my movement skill is Whirling Blade, Fast Attack, Leap Slam, and Fortify. And I happen to have an unset ring, so I put the Attack Armor here, but if you do not have an unset ring, you can just take away Leap Slam and put Attack Armor here. It's fine. And as for auras, I'm using Precision, Hatred, Harrow of Eyes, and Enlighten. Again, Enlighten 4 is not necessary. I rarely run out of mana without the Enlighten 4, thanks to the multi-strike actually, because you only use mana. You use mana once. You have 3 attacks, so only the 4th attack use the mana again. So you actually have time to regen or leech back your mana. You really need to really recklessly spam your skills to run out of mana, even if you only have an Enlighten 3. But yeah, if you have the excessive amount of money, just get Enlighten 4, which you just never run out if you have Enlighten 4, basically. But Item 3 is still rare for you to actually run out of mana. You can always have enough mana to dash around. So, you know, that's that. Yeah. Also, yeah. The other link is Steel Skin, Blood Rage, and cast 1 damage taken. My setup currently is like 2000 damage taken to trigger Steel Skin, which give me 1700 more life. Yeah, you can choose if you have enough button to press. You can still choose to, you know, self-triggering Steel Skin with increased duration, or if you don't have an unset ring, just put the active armor in place of the cast on damage taken and then self-cast Steel Skin. And I still use the Blood Rage level 20 to activate on my own because, yeah, it's instant cast, so why not? So I'm using Blood Rage not linked with the cast 1 damage taken. But yeah, it depends on you if you want to self-cast Steel Skin. Yeah, that's it. As for the passive tree, yeah, like I said, you go down here first to grab the Winter Burial, go up. Yeah, I talk about passive tree too, I think. So as for the Ascendancy, I do Way of the Approacher because 3 Frenzy Charge means 3 damage, and then I got Rapid Assault because 3 damage, and then the third Ascendancy I got Avatar of the Slaughter, and then finally finish off when I actually get to endgame. I get to Avatar of the Trace for Uberlap, because now that I actually have enough evasion to make these nodes worthwhile. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, but I don't think the order matters that much. But I would say getting both Frenzy Charge Generation and Onslaught first is gonna give you the most amount of damage. So that's the skill tree. Now maybe talk a little bit about Path of Building. Alright, Path of Building. Alright, so you have Spider Webs, you have 3 Frenzy Charge Generation, you have 3 Onslaught, you have Crit Wizard, and then this is Shaper and Guardian, Enemy's Shield, so 1.3 million. And then you start placing your totem. That's more damage with Frost Bomb, actually, a little bit more. As long as the enemy doesn't have cap resistance, Frost Bomb is gonna give you more damage than War Chief. So if you put down Frost Bomb 1.6, put down War Chief 1.97, 1.9 million, and then if the enemy, yeah, that's 2 million without flash use, nearly. And if you start using flash, 2.8 million. And if you choose to use Lion Roar, again, you one-shot packs, so it doesn't actually matter. You can just use Lion Roar if you do not have other better flash charge used. So this is 3.5 million. And since I got a Bottle of Faith from my last character, so I'm using 1 currently, so you got 3.6 million here. So one thing to also notice is that if the map mod has avoid elemental elements, you will not be able to chill or freeze the enemy. Then you only have 2 points. Yeah, you lose a lot of damage, as you can see. If the enemy is not shielded, your glove doesn't do extra damage, your Glacial Hammer doesn't have the added damage, and yeah, you only have 2.6 million. And if the enemy is shielded, then you have 3.6 million. So that's a crap ton of damage loss. So it's your choice if you want to do the maps that are elemental element immune. So that's that. As for the tree, I also put down the Timeless Jewel for the one that I'm using. I also give you the seed for what you're looking for. yeah, I got 2 level pride that is pretty decent, but the upper one, the one that's upper one is the one I'm using currently. So yeah, you can fiddle around, and you can also see if you can deal more damage if you unspec maybe some claw nodes and go into the dagger nodes. I basically choose claw nodes because the first one, lethal ply, second one because it gets better leech and stuff. But maybe you can unspec some nodes and then get the dagger nodes here, or yeah, or maybe you can even use the axe nodes if you really want. The anointment I choose was this one because I needed some of the accuracy. But you can anoint anything on the left side. You have some mace node for more range. You have some sword nodes here if you really want. You can... yeah, basically it's so versatile what you can do, because any one-handed weapon nodes will benefit this build. So that's that. If you level up further, maybe you can grab more knife nodes here too. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm gonna provide a path of building link as per usual. You can just fiddle around the flasks and all the skill tree and stuff. So yeah, that's the path of building, some numbers for your reference. So thank you for joining, and I may or may not put a fight at the end of this video, or if this video is too long I'm gonna keep it shorter. I'm still working on talking less about unnecessary stuff on my guides, so because I feel like my guides are way too long, but I'm still working on it. So yeah, that's the build for you. So thank you for joining, and I am going to see you next time. Have a nice day and goodbye. Well, we got ourselves 84 Lich, so let's see how well we go. We are freezing him though. Okay. We are freezing him though. Wait, I thought... oh, he is. I just killed it too fast, huh? Yeah. Okay. I'm freezing him. We are fine. We are freezing him. Oh, he can still do that though. Yeah, but as long as we can hit him. Oh, I need full flask to God damn it! I need full flask. I think I need flask and everything to reliably freeze him. Yeah, I need everything up to freeze him. Oh my god! What are you supposed to do? Yeah, but yeah, we can freeze him most of the time, so. And we kill the spires before the damage reduction thing kicks in. Oh my god, the lag. The lag. One socket tomb fist. You know what? We're doing it live.